How did 13 small colonies defeat the most powerful empire in the world? The story of the American Revolution is one of courage, strategy, and a fight for freedom. In this video, we'll explore the key events, battles, and figures that led to America's independence. Whether you're a history buff or just curious, this is the ultimate guide to understanding how the United States was born. Let's dive in. Welcome to Next Wave America. The road to revolution. The American Revolution didn't happen overnight. It was the result of years of tension between the British Empire and its American colonies. To understand how it all began, we need to go back to the French and Indian War, 1754 to 1763. This conflict, fought between Britain and France over control of North America, left Britain in massive debt. To pay it off, they turned to their American colonies for revenue. In 1765, Britain passed the Stamp Act, which taxed paper goods like newspapers, legal documents, and even playing cards. Colonists were furious. They argued that they shouldn't be taxed without having a say in Parliament, a concept known as no taxation without representation. Protests erupted, and groups like the Sons of Liberty organized boycotts of British goods. Britain repealed the Stamp Act in 1766, but tensions didn't go away. In 1767, they passed the Townshend Acts, which taxed imports like tea, glass, and paper. Colonists responded with more protests and boycotts. Then, in 1770, the Boston Massacre occurred. British soldiers fired into a crowd of angry colonists, killing 5 people. This event became a symbol of British tyranny. In 1773, Britain passed the Tea Act, which gave the British East India Company a monopoly on tea sales in the colonies. Colonists saw this as another attempt to control them. On December 16, 1773, a group of colonists disguised as Native Americans boarded British ships in Boston Harbor and dumped 342 chests of tea into the water. This event, known as the Boston Tea Party, infuriated Britain. Britain responded with the Intolerable Acts in 1774, which closed Boston Harbor, dissolved the Massachusetts government, and required colonists to house British soldiers. These acts only made colonists angrier. In September 1774, representatives from 12 colonies met at the First Continental Congress to discuss how to respond. They agreed to boycott British goods and prepare for possible war. The first shots of war. On April 19, 1775, the first shots of the American Revolution were fired at Lexington and Concord. British troops had been ordered to seize colonial weapons stored in Concord, Massachusetts, but the colonists had been warned by writers like Paul Revere and William Dawes. At Lexington, about 70 Minutemen, local militia ready to fight at a minute's notice, faced off against 700 British soldiers. A shot was fired. No one knows by whom, and the British opened fire, killing 8 colonists. The British then marched to Concord, where they destroyed some supplies but were met with fierce resistance. On their retreat to Boston, they were ambushed by colonial militia, suffering heavy casualties. The battles of Lexington and Concord marked the beginning of the American Revolution. News of the fighting spread quickly, and colonists across the 13 colonies began preparing for war. The Continental Army and George Washington. In June 1775, the Second Continental Congress met in Philadelphia. They created the Continental Army and appointed George Washington as its commander-in-chief. Washington was a Virginia planter and a veteran of the French and Indian War. He wasn't just a great leader, he was a symbol of unity for the colonies. Washington faced many challenges. The Continental Army was poorly trained and equipped, and desertion was common, but Washington's leadership kept the army together. He instilled discipline, trained his troops, and inspired them to keep fighting, even in the face of defeat. Key battles of the Revolution. The American Revolution was fought on many fronts. Here are some of the most important battles. Battle of Bunker Hill, June 1775. Though the British won, they suffered heavy losses, proving the colonists could stand up to the world's strongest military. Battle of Trenton, December 1776. Washington's surprise attack on Hessian mercenaries boosted morale and turned the tide of the war. Battle of Saratoga, October 1777, a major victory for the Americans. It convinced France to join the war on their side. Battle of Yorktown, October 1781, the final major battle, where American and French forces trapped British General Cornwallis, leading to Britain's surrender. The role of France and other allies. France played a crucial role in America's victory. After the Battle of Saratoga, France signed the Treaty of Alliance, 1778, providing troops, ships, and supplies. The French Navy's support was especially vital at the Battle of Yorktown. Other countries, like Spain and the Netherlands, also supported the colonies, weakening Britain's global power. The Declaration of Independence. On July 4, 1776, the Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence, written by Thomas Jefferson. This document not only declared America's independence but also laid out the principles of liberty and equality that would shape the nation. Fun fact, the Declaration wasn't signed on July 4th, most delegates signed it on August 2nd. The war's end in the Treaty of Paris. After the British surrender at Yorktown, peace negotiations began. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris was signed, officially ending the war and recognizing American independence. The treaty granted the U.S. all land east of the Mississippi River, doubling the size of the new nation. Why did the colonies win? So, how did 13 colonies defeat the British Empire? Here are the key reasons. Home field advantage. The colonists knew the terrain and had local support. Guerrilla tactics. They used unconventional warfare to outmaneuver the British. French support. France provided crucial military and financial aid. Strong leadership. Figures like George Washington kept the revolution alive. British mistakes. Overconfidence and poor strategy cost Britain the war. The legacy of the American Revolution. The American Revolution didn't just create a new nation, it inspired revolutions around the world. Its ideals of liberty, equality, and self-governance continue to shape the United States today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the American Revolution, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more history content. What's your favorite moment from the Revolution? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.